those other guys. Blackout Coffee remains true to our value. That's blackoutcoffee.com/Bongino, or you.
Not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
You know, I've been in a couple of presidential bubbles. 3. 2 directly where I worked in the president's detail, but 3 overall. I started under Bill Clinton in my prior line of work, and I've been in that whole bubble, that whole ecosystem surrounding the president. It's a strange place to be. When you're there, it changes your life, sometimes not for the better. I have to tell you, and I get it, I'm a partisan, a hard partisan, a conservative. I don't run from that. But taking that hat off for a minute, I've never seen anything like I saw yesterday in Hawaii. Anything. I've never seen anything so callous and straight up evil, and it's important we use that word. And now, after yesterday, I just hope if anyone out there sitting on the fence about who this guy is, Joe Biden, you now know. Whether you vote for him or not is your business. We have a secret ballot in this country. All I can do is give you the truth. I'm not suggesting all the alternatives are all wonderful people either. I'm just telling you that that guy, Joe Biden, Joseph R. Biden, is pure, unadulterated evil. And if after yesterday you still can't figure that out, there is nothing that can happen to make this guy could have 666 tattooed on his skull and nothing's going to convince you. I've never seen anything like I saw yesterday. I've got that, and I've got an idea for the Trump team. It's a bold idea. It may be a risky idea. But ladies and gentlemen, bold times and rough times require rough men and bold measures. I got a big show today. Don't go anywhere. Today's show brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Every day we hear about another familiar brand selling out their customers and going woke. Americans are sick and tired of having leftist propaganda jammed into every product they consume. Woke mobile companies are no different. For years, they've been dumping millions into liberal causes, and we had to take it because you need a cell phone and probably thought there was no alternative, but there is. Make the switch today to Patriot Mobile. It's America's own Christian conservative wireless provider offering dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to in your area, minus the leftist propaganda. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're supporting a company that believes in free speech, religious freedom, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military, veteran, and first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching easy. Keep your phone, keep your number too. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 878-PATRIOT. Get free activation today with the offer code Dan. Ask about their coverage guarantee while you're there. Get the same dependable service that can stand for your values. Make the switch today, patriotmobile.com/Dan, or call 878-PATRIOT. All right, it's time for... It's showtime. The Kenny Bell. Still working out some gremlins on our technical side. We'll get back to our old method of doing business. I like the Kenny Bell. Kind of brings me... You ever see this, by the way, folks? It's called the Kenny Bell because a dude named Kenny sent it to us when we used to have an old one. He's like, you need a real bell. You know I like boxing, but this thing is old school. Some of our listeners send the coolest stuff. You don't have to do any of that, of course. We appreciate it either way, but it was interesting. Folks, when I got it, I had to open it. What the hell is that? This thing is ringing in my mind. Hundreds of kids are missing and are most likely dead in Maui in what is going to be an unthinkable, unimaginable tragedy. What happened was, if you didn't get the backstory, this is, if you're not ready for this, I understand. You turn it down, tune out, I get it. I know you should never tell people that, but I totally understand. So apparently, when the winds kicked up due to this storm, they sent a lot of these kids home from school. A lot of these kids went home and were home alone. A lot of these kids died in these houses that burned down by themselves, probably really terrified. This is again, I say unthinkable because it's the kind of thing you don't even want to imagine. You think about it and you're instantly in this macabre, depressed mode because it's so awful. So our loser in chief, oatmeal brains Biden, the single most narcissistic, sociopathic, lying, disgusting human being to ever occupy the Oval Office. There's not even a close second. The man is a kid-sniffing, plagiarizing, bribe-taking, lying, just disgusting human being. Showering with his kids. He is just gross. The dude is freaking disgusting. And everybody should say it. He is a grotesque human being. How this guy has a 30% approval rating is stunning. Who are the 30 idiots out of 100 who approve of this disgusting bag of garbage in the White House? So he decides finally, after days, a week plus, to show up in Maui, this unimaginable tragedy. And of course, disgusting SpaghettiOs brains, this bribe-taking kid sniffer, what does he do? He has to make the whole event around him. This disgusting piece of garbage. Guy, have I made it clear how disgusting this guy is? Quiet. Let me say it one more time. This gross, showering with his kids, kid sniffing, bribe-taking, sociopathic, lying plagiarist goes to Maui and makes the entire event about himself, while people still haven't recovered the remains of their kids, their loved ones, or their homes. Here he is telling a story about a small kitchen fire in his house that almost cost him his cat and his car. Totally relatable to losing your kid in a fire. Disgusting garbage person. Watch this.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my '67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. You know, there's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware.
Yeah, man. So we have missing kids. Probably over 1,000 dead. Hundreds of those kids. People who've been totally wiped out. An entire portion of Maui just completely destroyed. Leveled, burned to the ground. Not a remnant of the place left. People who fled into the ocean. No sirens went off, no water management, no nothing. And you're telling a freaking story about almost losing your Corvette and your cat. You freaking moron. I have never seen anything like this. I've been inside of multiple presidential bubbles. I've never seen anything like this ever in my life. Take your partisan hat off for a second. I've been in back rooms, again, with 3 presidents who've had to empathize with people who lost one. I liked none of them. Let me be clear, none of them. Bush was a fake Republican. Clinton was just a gross person. And Obama is probably the worst president in human history next to Biden. At least they could fake it in front of people. And in Bush's case, he actually cared. I was there. I saw it when he was with the Gold Star parents under the wings. He was supposed to, of Air Force One. We would leave in a motorcade, and I would always tell the cops, don't shut down traffic yet. They'd be like, what do you mean? We got to shut it down. Bush is off the plane. I'd say, relax, please. I'd say he's going to spend some time with these Gold Star parents. He's not going to leave right away. Because he would sit there and talk to them and cry with them. I saw that. The guy's presidency was a disaster. At least Clinton and Obama would fake it around people. What the is this guy doing? You're telling a story about a small fire in your kitchen? Oh, Dan, you're just making that up. No, I'm not. Here's the New York Post covering it. Biden refers to a 2004 kitchen fire as house burning down with my wife in it. However, at the time of the blaze, fire officials told the Associated Press the lightning strike merely caused a small fire that was contained to the kitchen. Luckily, we got it pretty early, the fire company chief said, noting there were no injuries from the blaze. Totally comparable to losing a good portion of your island your kids, your family member, your car, your dogs, your pets, and everything you own. Completely comparable. Of course, the story gets worse. He's at an event and they're telling these horrible stories about losing their kids and their family members. Here's rotting freaking spaghetti-o brains, sleeping. Look at it right there. Open your eyes, loser. At least pretend you give a shit. It's called coffee. Try some.
But like many others,
Sleeping.
my son's home.
Sleeping. Probably dreaming about
My
sniffing
daughter.
some more kids.
First.
I don't even want to watch this anymore. Probably dreaming about kids sniffing or showering with some disgusting slob. And for those of you in the chat who anyone think I'm being too easy on him? Folks, listen, man. I don't do this. I don't know how to do much else. Okay. I tried to get into medical school. It didn't work out. I was a pretty decent cop, but you know, a lot of people do that. It's not a lot I do well. And sometimes I wonder, like, am I, is this too much? Is this? But I do it anyway because this is just how I feel. And if it's too much and it's too loud and obnoxious, then I'm sorry, but I can't. I mean, it's. Well, what is that, man? You don't what kind of a think about what kind of a human being do you have to be to send your crack addicted son to go take bribes from nuclear powered enemies of the United States, to shower with your kids and be gross, to go around feeling women and sniffing kids up all the time? What kind of slob do you have to be? And you show up in a place devastated by the worst possible death imaginable, burning to death. And your first instinct is to tell a bullshit freaking story about how your house burned down? That's your first instinct? Is to tell some horseshit story about how you almost lost your 67 Corvette? Which is not even true, as Guy just pointed out. And you've told before. And everybody knows you're freaking lying. And you do it again, you slob. Here was the reception yesterday for rotting oatmeal brains, kid-sniffing plagiarizer, liar, sociopath. Here was the reception when he pulled into Hawaii yesterday with his motorcade. Watch this.
Here he comes after 13 days.
Wow, he's finally here! Wow, yeah! Awesome! Yeah, thanks for nothing! Fuck you! Fuck you!
There's more of this. This is really frustrating. This isn't, man, we have this wonderful place, man. We just do. We have this unique place on planet Earth at this unique time, where even despite this a-hole in the White House and these slobs in D.C., both parties, to be honest with you, we've got this incredible place. And you're telling me that this is the leader of the free world? This disgusting kid-sniffing piece of garbage? This is the best we can do? I don't accept it, man. Even the people of Hawaii, which vote overwhelmingly Democrat. I don't care about the politics right now, I want to be honest, but their support there that's just a fact. Not just that, this happened yesterday when he showed up too. Nobody wanted this loser around. Take a look at this.
There are a bunch of people out here. They've been here for hours. A bunch of them are protesting. They have their makeshift signs, cardboard signs. A lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late. Some of them feel that he should have been here much earlier. Other signs that say actions speak louder than words. So hearing a lot from the people here, as well as Hawaiian flags.
Listen, man, I was having a conversation this morning with a couple people, and we can't, folks, we can't lose in 2024. We lose in 2024, we are in real trouble. I am never going to be a pessimist. I'm never going to tell you it's all over because we don't have a choice. We've got to fight. I'm not going down without a fight, no matter how bad it gets, no matter what. I'm just telling you, 2024, you hear it all the time. It's the most important election of our lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely true. This guy in the White House is pure, unadulterated evil. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I have been inside of multiple bubbles like this. How the staff lets this guy continue to go out and not just humiliate himself, but humiliate their party and humiliate the United States of America is just stunning. Somebody stop this kid-sniffing sociopath. Please, just shut him up and keep him in the White House. Just leave him there. Who cares if he visits anymore? Nobody wants him around. He's a disgrace to humankind. And it's the reason, by the way, I had another argument the other day with a friend of mine. I've changed my mind fully now. I'm sorry. Let me know in the chat how you feel. I'm allowed to change my mind to the United States. I don't want him impeached. I don't want him impeached. You know why? We're going to lose in the Senate anyway, and they'll take it as some kind of moral victory. Let him stay in there. Let the American people kick this guy out, because you're not going to get him out by impeachment. I thought it may be a good idea to put him on trial. I'm not even convinced. If the American people can't vote this guy out, then we deserve everything we get. If we can't vote this guy, I get it with the cheating. Believe me, I understand. Trust me, I understand. I have actually run for office. I've been a victim of this nonsense. I've talked about it 1,000 times. If we can't vote this guy out by 4 or 5 points, I'm sorry, man. The country's lost. This guy is a freaking disgrace to humankind. And the attacks now on Donald Trump are going to get worse. It's important I pivot here because I've got an idea for the Trump team, and I don't say this lightly. And listen, I'm always watching you in chat. If you think this is a stupid idea, a lot of good feedback on impeachment. Some of you agree with me. Why? Why give him the victory in the Senate? Look, I won. I beat the Democrats. You won nothing. You won nothing. You're a disgusting piece of garbage. If we can't vote this clown out, we don't deserve it. I've got an idea for the Trump team. Folks, if you think it's dumb, let me know. But I've thought about this. I thought about it all night. I don't put anything out on the show before I deliberate over it for a long time. I have my Bongino rule on these things. So yesterday, as you can see from this New York Times piece, there was a bond set for bail set at $200,000. Excuse me, a bail set with $200,000 in the Georgia case. Folks, I don't think the Trump team should post the bond. I don't. This may sound like a crazy idea, but folks, we're living in crazy times. And crazy times require different, crazy, bold approaches. Fannie Willis wants to be a smart-ass tyrant, little socialist communist like she is, down in Fulton County, Georgia. Don't post. Don't post the bond. You jail him? Let's elect our first political prisoner. Go ahead. Go to jail. Let the Secret Service shut the entire jail down, and we'll see how long you're willing to keep this charade going. Let them put him in jail for a bit. Folks, I know it sounds crazy. Let the Secret Service shut that entire floor down, because remember, Title 18 USC 3056, and I believe 1752, the Secret Service has the absolute federal authority, the supremacy clause. They can declare anything a federally protected area, even a prison cell. They can clear out that entire wing of the prison and make sure Donald Trump never sees another human being in that prison other than the Secret Service. I wouldn't post. You may think it's a crazy idea. I don't think so. Folks, you've seen people around the world take a stand like this, and it's easy for me to say, I get it, I wouldn't be the one in a prison cell. But you want to send a message? Let's see what happens. We should hold protests outside of that prison cell every single day. Don't post. Don't post the bond. Make them put you in jail. And make them show America their asses and show America who they really are. And let's see how long this lasts. Folks, I think the F around and find out the time has long since passed. I don't think he should post. Folks, I say that because it's about to get crazy. Anyone telling you that, no what, they're not going to do this, or things are going to calm down, or we've reached peak nuts, you are grossly mistaken. If we don't do something big and bold soon, we are going to be left in a real dilemma soon. I'll explain what I mean coming up next because there's a lot more ahead. I've got video, I've got polls, I've got it all. Don't go anywhere. As you can tell, probably had a few cups this morning. Blackout coffee. You tired of the same old monotonous liberal favorite coffee brands? Stop buying them. Stop giving your money to these crap companies that support these wokesters that hate you, hate your money, hate capitalism, and they probably hate freaking coffee too. That's why I'm proud to recommend I drink Blackout Coffee. It's a coffee company 100% committed to conservative values. It's all I drink. From sourcing the beans to the roasting process, customer support or shipping. They've got an incredible work ethic. They're dedicated to promoting conservative principles. They accept no compromise in taste or quality. This is coffee that tastes like coffee. It's a big, robust, vibrant coffee flavor. Do me a favor, just check it out. blackoutcoffee.com/Bongino. Use coupon code Bongino for 20% off your first order. Ditch those other guys. Blackout Coffee remains true to our value. That's blackoutcoffee.com/Bongino or use coupon code Bongino, Bongino, for 20% off your first order. Seriously, man, stuff is no joke. Give it a shot.